for non spoken audio. So things that you might hear that are important, like important information that we don't have a visual reference for. Like, for example, you can hear the monster sniffing, but I'm gonna be honest, I have terrible hearing. I had no idea about that. So it's been it's so it was a really funny conversation, because I wanted to have closed captioning in games, and basically, one early day I sat down with the Balance Bros and I was talking about things in games or audio cues that they listen to or things that they were keeping in mind while they're playing, and I had some of these sounds I didn't even know like were in game. I just straight up was like, I don't know that I've ever heard that, and it was just like, oh, okay. Oh, did we do that? Oh. Um, as someone who has terrible hearing, I was just like, there are so many little things in our game that I miss just because I don't hear well, and because there's so many things that are happening in game at any given time, like they just get lost. So, um, our real challenge now is, so we have like this prototype version that, oh yeah, sniff, trees breaking, strider screaming, spotters yelling, like all of that. That's all audio stuff that a lot of people may not realize that it's there. Or if you're someone who can't hear, or maybe you just have your TV muted because your baby's crying and and you're trying to help them fall asleep. Jetpacks across the map. Yeah, example. All of these are great examples. Speaking of sound, I don't think your sound engineers get enough praise. It all sounds fantastic. I will pass that on to them. Our sound guys are awesome. So we want to get all of this in. So we've had the prototype version where we can get everything in with the subtitles and it working and it displaying correctly. The real challenge now is we're kind of blocked on how to go forward and get these implemented because because we've been making these gameplay changes to the game. We kind of have to wait for, I always use the analogy of the Jello to stop shaking so that we can properly identify what actually needs to be put in there. What are the sounds that matter? Because once we do have that list, we need to make sure they're in. We have to test them. We have to make sure that there aren't too many things displaying. And it's, I'm hoping we have that out. I'm gonna say by the end of the year. It's one of those things that we would love to do, but we've got a whole bunch of things that we just kind of need to prioritize and organize. But it is on the list. It's something that we want to do, that we have done some work on. But again, there's no date. This is not dropping with TO9. This is like, we want to be, I mentioned before in a post that we want to be more open on what we're working on. We want to be more open on what we're exploring. And since it's Global Accessibility Awareness Day, I wanted to tell you guys about this stuff. Question, do you consult with charities or groups to best work out which accessibility options are needed and how best to implement them? So not really. And that's mainly because I was an accessibility, well, not was, I am an accessibility consultant. So it doesn't necessarily make sense for us to, well, this isn't that's not quite correct. Due to our work or contracts or NDAs, it's normally just easier for me to use the knowledge I already have and work from there. And but we haven't directly consulted with other people, but it's just because I have so much knowledge in my head. But like when we did make our list of game accessibility features that we were interested in, like that, we started out by just like, let's take able gamers list, let's take special effects list, let's take the IGDA game accessibility special interest group list. Let's take all of them and just cross-check and be like, do we have this thing that they say they want? Are we following their guidelines? So it's not like we're indirectly working with them. We are taking their resources, but we're not reaching out to them. Although I'm sure that's something we'd be opening to do. I mean, yeah. Let's see. Are we still working on the next variations? Yes, we are. Okay. I think if I have like another 10 minutes for questions, if you guys have any other questions. And I'll try to answer questions. I'd prefer accessibility-related questions because it is Global Accessibility Awareness Day, but I will answer some other ones in chat. Let's see. So what do we got? I answered, said we were working on the next variations already. Mr. Boats, I've been trying to get my friends to pick up Evolve. They all back away to the Steam reviews and paywalls and hunters. How do you plan on dealing with stuff like that? That's part of a huge overall marketing plan that I'm not going to get into on the stream because it's not exactly relevant to game accessibility. But it's something that we are thinking about, and we're aware of it, and it's yeah. That's all I'm going to say on that topic. We're aware of it. We're thinking about it. I'm just not going to say. I'm not going to go into it too much. Are you guys going to be at Gamescom this year? I don't even know when Gamescom is this year, to be honest. I'm not going to say no. But I think right now our big push is to get the patch out and like figure things out from there. I'm going to be honest, in terms of marketing and community, like that is our next goal. We're going to get there, and then from there we'll figure out, you know, what's happening. Let's see. How would the closed captions work in relation to surround sound? Just to be curious. In Evolve, the surround sound is a rather large advantage. So that's a question that I'm not sure we entirely have an answer to yet. I mean, but it is obvious that if you know where the sound is coming from, you have an advantage over someone who just knows the sound is there. I mean, I think our first step is just at least letting everyone know the same set of sounds exists, and trying to figure out how to make it on par with surround sound is the next step, but we don't have that yet. Nor Hunter, welcome back. I don't know what I was thinking of. I'm sorry, I'm confused. All right, so we have a little bit more time for a couple more questions before I got to start bouncing going to meetings. August 18th is Gamescom. Yeah, I don't know. Like I really don't know. We'll see what happens. Whoa, people are laughing about something. Let's see. Question: Should publishers push for more accessibility features in games, either during development or post-release? 2K on board at all. So this is my personal opinion. This is my personal opinion. I think that there are, for example, if you are a Sony developer, and you are making a Sony game, they have extra checks that other developers don't have. It is really helpful. For example, if you're making a game on Sony's platform, you have to get checked for epilepsy if you're going to trigger that by any of your animations or movies or videos, and not every publisher does that. I would like for more publishers to basically have that in their, this is what we expect. I think it should come really, really early on. Accessibility features are not hard to develop, but they're terribly hard to retrofit. If you plan them from the beginning, they're not hard. If you make a game and it's inaccessible and then you go back and try to fix it, it can be incredibly hard and costly. So accessibility is really, really important to get in from the beginning. Okay, let's see. What else do we have? Will there be any options for helping out people with impaired vision, maybe bigger text sizes? I know it's something we've talked about, but we don't have anything on the books for that right now. But it's something that I am interested in us having, but that means nothing in the grand scheme of things. In closed captions and Evolve, there are no detailed captions for animation sounds. Any plans to possibly implement in the future? That was what I was just talking about with the closed captions. Would be yes, they would be included in our closed caption system when it eventually launches in the super far off future. When will the next official TRS stream be? That is going to be closer to the launch of the patch. I'm not going to give more details. It'll be in the summer, in a month that starts with J, and then the next letter is U. There you go. I've narrowed it down to a 2-month window for you. Oh, talking about controller issues, the one thing I forgot to mention is we did do a refactor on auto aim to make it easier to use and better. That's another accessibility feature that we do. That one does launch with the next title update. And we've also taken lots of your guys' ideas about oh, thank you, Timmy 8. We've taken lots of your guys' ideas and put them into the database so we can make give more options for mobility in the future. All right, it looks like I'm out of accessibility questions, which is what I wanted to try to answer. So this is your last call for accessibility questions, because I do have a meeting coming up here very, very soon that I want to make sure that I get to. Oh, Cockney Charmer, huge credit and respect for you and TRS to champion accessibility for Evolve and inspire other devs, publishers, and thanks to the stream. J-Dog Evolve. Oh, sorry, not auto aim. Well, it's auto aim isn't like the best description for it. It's making controllers better to use. It'll make more sense when you see it. I'm not going to try to explain it. I don't have enough time. So that's what I have. So aim assist. Yes, there we go. That's better. I would love to have an auto aim for single player mode only though, but we haven't even like started that discussion. It's just something that I would love to have. Okay, so that's what I got. Thank you everyone for joining me. You should you know, be excited about the title update. You should be excited about game accessibility. You should tell everyone how great game accessibility is. And that's all I got. Like I said, I've got to run. I'm so sorry that this was I have an emote that I keep meaning to update there and I don't, so I just keep having the adorable kitten. But I love the kitten. I think that's all I have. But yeah, I hope that you guys at least found some of it interesting. I know that some people were more excited about you know, accessibility stuff. But I think that a lot of the stuff we're coming in the future title updates are tied in with accessibility. So thank you. So, and again, I'm sorry it was so disorganized. I literally decided at like 1 that I should stream, and I basically had this window of time. It was like, this is the only time I have free. I'm so booked with meetings. So thank you so much for coming. If you guys aren't already, go follow me on Twitter so that you can, you know, listen to me ramble constantly and get the latest updates. And that's all I have. So thank you so much. Thanks, guys. I love you. You're awesome. And I'm going to try to be in the Discord later today. So if you're in the Discord and you have any other questions, like I said, I'm going to some meetings, but I'll try to be in there later and maybe answer some of them. So, all right. Thanks, guys. Bye. Oh my God. I'm trying to stop streaming. Okay, bye for real.